She pushed me so hard I hit the kitchen floor and couldn't get up for 20 minutes. I raised her from age 8 after her mother abandoned her. I paid for her college. I co-signed a $40,000 business loan so she could open her dream salon. And when I was lying on that cold tile floor, hip throbbing, she looked down at me and said, "You're just a burden now." 3 hours later, she texted, "Stop being dramatic. You're fine." So I didn't text back. I just called the bank and removed myself as co-signer on her loan. 7 days later, her business account froze. Her credit cards were declined. And the father she hadn't seen in 12 years showed up at my door asking what the hell was going on. Turns out when you underestimate a 60-year-old woman who spent 3 decades as a social worker specializing in elder abuse cases, you make a mistake you can't undo. My name is Betty Parker, 60 years old, and my granddaughter Jenny is about to learn that the woman she thought was weak just destroyed the financial foundation of her entire adult life. If your family ever made you feel worthless, hit subscribe. Because this story is about what happens when the person you threw away turns out to be the only thing holding your world together. I became Jenny's mother on a Tuesday in October. 12 years ago, my daughter Caitlin dropped her off at my house with a purple backpack, a stuffed rabbit, and no explanation. Jenny was 8 years old, eyes red from crying, not saying a word. "She'll stay with you for a while," Caitlin said, not looking at me. "I need to figure some things out." "How long is a while?" "I don't know, Mom. Just take care of her. I'll call." She didn't call. Not that week, not that month. Eventually, her phone number stopped working. Her apartment was cleared out. And I realized my daughter had done what her father did to me 20 years earlier, disappeared when life got too hard. So I raised Jenny alone. At 48 years old, when I thought my parenting days were over, I worked full-time as a social worker for the state, investigating elder abuse and neglect cases. It was hard, heartbreaking work. I'd see 80-year-olds with bruises, 75-year-olds whose families had drained their bank account, 90-year-olds left alone in filthy apartments while their children fought over inheritance. Every case made me furious. Every case made me more protective of the vulnerable. And every night, I came home to Jenny, made her dinner, helped with homework, braided her hair the way Caitlin used to like it, told her bedtime stories about princesses who saved themselves. "Grandma, when's Mommy coming back?" she'd ask. "I don't know, sweetheart. Did I do something wrong?" "No, baby. You didn't do anything wrong. Sometimes grown-ups make bad choices. That's not your fault." She'd nod, but I could see the doubt in her eyes, the fear that maybe she was the reason her mother left. I did everything I could to fill that hole. School plays, soccer games, mother-daughter breakfasts where I pretended to be just mom and not grandma filling in. When she turned 13, she started calling me Grandma Betty instead of just Grandma, adding my name like I was a person, not just a role. When she turned 16, she stopped asking about Caitlin. When she turned 18, she graduated high school with honors. I took pictures until my phone ran out of storage, cried when they called her name, hugged her so tight she laughed and said, "Grandma, I can't breathe." "I'm just proud of you." "I know. I'm proud of us too." Us like we were a team, like we'd built something together. I paid for her college, state school, not fancy, but solid. She wanted to study business. "I want to own my own salon someday," she said. "Be my own boss. Build something that's mine." I understood that. After raising someone else's child, taking care of other people's emergencies, she wanted something that belonged only to her. I worked overtime to cover tuition, ate leftovers for dinner so I could send her spending money, drove a car with 200,000 miles, because buying a new one meant less money for her textbooks. She graduated with a business degree and a plan. I found a location, perfect spot in Cambridge, but I need $40,000 for equipment, inventory, first and last month's rent. That's a lot of money. I know, but I have a business plan, projections. I did all the research. I just need someone to co-sign the loan. My credit isn't established enough to get it a loan. She looked at me with those eyes that still looked 8 years old sometimes. Hopeful, trusting. "Okay," I said. "I'll co-sign." "Really?" "Really." You're smart. You're driven. You'll make it work. She hugged me so tight. Thank you, Grandma Betty. I won't let you down. I promise. I believed her. Jenny's salon, Indigo Hair Studio, opened 6 months later. It was beautiful. Modern furniture, good lighting, high-end products. She'd thought of everything. Come to the grand opening, she said. I want you to see it. I went. Watched her cut ribbons and pose for photos. She looked so grown up, so professional, so far from the 8-year-old who wouldn't speak for the first month she lived with me. I'm so proud of you, I told her. I couldn't have done this without you. Yes, you could have. You just would have taken longer. She smiled. Maybe, but you made it happen now. That matters. For the first few months, business was good. She'd send me photos of her appointment book, fully booked, growing clientele, good reviews online. Then the messages started spacing out. 1 photo a week, then 1 every 2 weeks, then silent. I'd call. How's business? Good? Busy? I'll call you back later. She didn't call back. I'd stop by the salon. I was in the neighborhood. Thought I'd say hi. Grandma, I'm with a client. Can we catch up later? Later never came. I told myself she was just busy, building her dream. I remembered being young and focused, thinking I had all the time in the world to stay connected. But something felt off. I was a social worker. I'd spent 30 years reading people, sensing when something was wrong, noticing the gaps between what people said and what was true. And Jenny was lying about something. The first real warning came when I checked my credit report. I did it annually. Force of habit from investigating financial abuse cases. I knew how easy it was for family members to open accounts in elderly relatives' names, drain them, and disappear. My credit score had dropped. I looked at the details. Jenny's business loan, the one I'd co-signed, showed 2 missed payments in the last 3 months. My chest tightened. I called the bank. Yes, Miss Parker. The account is 60 days past due. Total amount owed is $38,500. If payment isn't received within 30 days, the account will go to collections. I'm the co-signer. Why wasn't I notified? We sent notices to the business address on file. Jenny's salon. Jenny was receiving the notices and not telling me. I called her immediately. Grandma, hi. I was just about to call you. Why are there missed payments on the loan? Silence. Jenny, it's just temporary. Cash flow issue. I'm fixing it. 2 months isn't temporary. What's going on? Nothing. I told you, it's handled. The bank says if you don't pay by next month, it goes to collections. That ruins both our credit. I know, I'm handling it. Her voice was sharp now, defensive. God, Grandma, can you just trust me? I do trust you, but I need to know. I have to go. Client just walked in. She hung up. I sat there staring at my phone, that familiar feeling rising. The one I got during home visits when elderly clients would defend their abusive children. He's just stressed. She didn't mean it. It's my fault for not understanding. No, this wasn't my fault. Jenny was an adult. She'd taken a loan. She was responsible for it, but she'd made me responsible too by asking me to co-sign. I drove to the salon that afternoon. It was 2 p.m. on a Tuesday, should have been busy. But when I looked through the window, there was only one stylist working. Not Jenny, and only one client. The salon looked emptier than it had at opening. Less inventory on the shelves, fewer decorations. Something was very wrong. I walked in. The stylist looked up. Can I help you? I'm looking for Jenny. She's not here. She doesn't really come in much anymore. What do you mean? The stylist hesitated. I probably shouldn't say anything. Please, I'm her grandmother. I co-signed the loan for this place. I need to know what's happening. She looked around like checking for witnesses. Business is bad. Has been for months. Jenny hired too many people at the start, spent too much on fancy equipment. She kept saying it would pick up, but it didn't. Most of the stylists quit because she couldn't pay them consistently. I'm the only one left. And honestly, I'm looking for another job. Where is Jenny if she's not here? I don't know. She shows up maybe twice a week. Says she's not working, drumming up business. But the stylist shrugged. I think she just can't face how bad it is. After I left, I sat in my car for a long time. Jenny was failing. The business was collapsing. And instead of telling me, instead of asking for help or advice, she was avoiding me and still not making loan payments. That night, I tried calling her again, straight to voicemail. I texted Jenny, we need to talk. Please call me. No response. 3 days later, I tried again. I'm worried about you. Let me help. Nothing. A week passed. Then 2. The silence stretched between us like a wound. And then on a Sunday morning, she showed up at my house. I was making coffee when I heard her key in the door. I'd given her a key years ago when she was in college. For emergency, she walked in without knocking. Looked around my kitchen like she was visiting a museum, not the house where she grew up. Hi, Grandma. Jenny, I've been trying to reach you. I know I've been busy. Too busy to return your grandmother's calls. She rolled her eyes. Here we go. The guilt trip. I'm not guilt tripping you. I'm concerned. The loan payments are my problem, not yours. I'm the cosigner. If you default, it affects my credit, my finances, my retirement. So that's what this is about. Money. She opened my fridge, took out orange juice, drank straight from the container. Don't do that. Use a glass. Why? I'm the only one drinking it. She put it back. You want to know where I've been? I've been working, trying to save my business, trying to make something of myself without my grandmother hovering over me every second. I'm not hovering. I'm asking basic questions about a loan I'm legally responsible for. You know what your problem is, Grandma? You can't let go. You raised me. Great, thank you. But I'm 26 years old. I don't need you micromanaging my life anymore. Asking about missed loan payments isn't micromanaging. Yes, it is. You're acting like I'm still 8. Like I can't handle my own business. You're not handling it? The salon is failing? You're not there? Your stylists are quitting? Her face went red. You went there, you checked up on me. I needed to know what was happening. You had no right. She slammed her hand on the counter. That's my business. My life. You don't get to investigate me like I'm one of your abuse cases. That's not what I'm doing. Yes, it is. You've always done this? Acted like you know better. Like you're the savior and everyone else is helpless? Well, I don't need saving. Jenny, please. No, I'm done with this. I'm done with you acting like you own me because you co-signed a loan. I'll pay it back when I can. Until then, stay out of my life. She turned to leave. Jenny, wait. What? She spun back around. I love you. That's all this is. I'm worried because I love you. For a split second, her face softened. Then it hardened again. If you really loved me, you'd trust me to figure it out on my own? She walked toward the door. And that's when it happened. I stepped in front of her, hand out. Please don't leave like this. Let's talk. She shoved me. Hard. I stumbled backward, off balance. Arms windmilling. My hip hit the counter edge. Pain shot through my side. I fell, landing hard on the kitchen tile. The impact knocked the air from my lungs. I lay there stunned, trying to breathe, trying to process what just happened. Jenny stood over me. For a second, I thought she'd help me up. Apologize, show some flicker of remorse. Instead, she said, "You're just a burden now, always needing attention, always making everything about you." Then she stepped over me and walked out. The door slammed. I lay on the kitchen floor for 20 minutes before I could move. My hip was throbbing. My wrist ached from trying to catch myself. But worse than the physical pain was the other kind. The kind that came from realizing the child you raised, the person you sacrificed everything for, just looked at you like you were garbage. Eventually, I pulled myself up using the counter, limped to the bathroom, checked myself in the mirror, bruise forming on my hip, scrape on my elbow, but nothing broken. I called my friend Noah, my brother. Can you come over? What's wrong? Just come, please. He arrived 20 minutes later, took one look at me, and his face darkened. What happened? I told him everything. The loan, the missed payments, Jenny's anger, the shove. She put her hands on you? His voice was dangerously quiet. She was angry. She didn't mean. Betty, stop. She assaulted you. She's my granddaughter. She's an adult who hurt an elderly woman. That's assault. You should file a police report. I'm not sending her to jail. Then what are you going to do? Let her get away with it? I thought about all the cases I'd worked. Elderly clients who defended their abusers, who made excuses, who said family is family even as their families destroyed them. I'd always told them, you deserve better. You deserve safety. You deserve respect. Now I had to believe it about myself. I'm going to protect myself, I said. The way I always told my clients to. How? I'm going to remove myself as co-signer on her loan. Noah raised his eyebrows. Can you do that? There's a clause. If the primary borrower defaults, the co-signer can petition to be removed if there's evidence of financial mismanagement or personal risk. And there is 2 missed payments, a failing business, and a physical assault. I looked at him. Help me document this. Take photos of my injuries. Write down what happened. I need evidence in case she tries to fight it. He took pictures of the bruises, wrote a detailed statement, signed and dated it. Then I called my lawyer. It took 4 days to process the paperwork. During that time, Jenny texted me once, "Stop being dramatic. You're fine." I didn't respond. My lawyer, Kate Sullivan, walked me through the process. The bank will require proof that remaining as co-signer puts you at personal risk, financial or physical. You have both. The missed payments are documented. The assault is documented. They'll approve the removal. What happens to Jenny's loan? The bank will demand immediate payment, or they'll call the full balance due. If she can't pay, they'll seize business assets and pursue collections. Her salon will close. Probably. But Betty, she made this choice. She stopped paying. She assaulted you. These are consequences of her actions, not yours. She'll hate me. She already hurt you. What's hate compared to that? The bank approved my petition on a Friday afternoon. Kate called with the news. You're removed as co-signer effective immediately. The bank sent Jenny notice that the loan is now her sole responsibility. Full balance due within 30 days or they'll begin asset seizure. I thanked Kate and hung up. Then I sat in my quiet house and waited for the fallout. It came 7 days later. I was in my garden when I heard the screaming. Jenny's car screeched into my driveway. She burst out, phone in hand, face red. "What did you do?" she shouted. "What the hell did you do?" I stood slowly, brushing dirt from my hands. "I removed myself from your loan." "You can't do that." "I did. It's done. My account is frozen. My credit cards are maxed. The bank is threatening to take my equipment." She was crying now, mascara running. "You destroyed my business." "You destroyed your business by not making payments." "I needed more time." "You had 6 months. And instead of asking for help, you shoved your grandmother to the floor and called her a burden." "I didn't mean she stopped. You're doing this because of that?" "Because I pushed you. Because you assaulted me." "Yes, it was an assault. You were in my way." "I have bruises, Jenny. I have documentation. I have a witness statement. If I wanted to, I could press charges. Instead, I'm just protecting myself financially." She stared at me like I'd grown another head. "You're evil. You're actually evil. I'm surviving. There's a difference. I'm going to lose everything." "Then you should have thought about that before you decided I was disposable." A car pulled up behind Jenny's. A man got out, tall, broad-shouldered, early 50s. He looked vaguely familiar, but I couldn't place him. Then he spoke. "Jenny, calm down." That voice. I knew that voice. He turned toward me, and my breath stopped. "Hello, Betty." It was Matt, my ex-husband, Jenny's grandfather, the man who'd walked out on us 23 years ago. "What are you doing here?" I whispered. "Jenny called me, said you were destroying her life. I came to see what was going on." "You left. You've been gone for over 20 years. "I know, and I'm sorry. But right now we need to focus on Jenny." Jenny looked between us, confused. "You know each other?" "He's your grandfather," I said. "He left when your mother was 5. Her mouth fell open. "Your grandpa?" Matt nodded. "I know I don't have the right to that title. But yes, and you just show up now, after all this time? You called me. You said you needed help. I didn't know you were..." She looked at me. "You never told me about him." "There was nothing to tell. He left. He didn't want to be part of our lives." Matt flinched. "That's not entirely fair." "Fair?" My voice rose. You walked out when Caitlin was 5 because you couldn't handle the pressure. You never paid child support, never called, never sent a birthday card. And now you show up because Jenny needs money? I showed up because she's family. Family? I laughed bitterly. You don't get to use that word? You gave up that right? Decades ago. Jenny was crying harder now. This is insane. This whole thing is insane. I just wanted to start a business. I just wanted something that was mine. And you can still have that, Matt said gently. But first we need to fix this situation with the loan. We? I looked at him. There is no we. You're not part of this. I'm her grandfather. You're a stranger who happens to share DNA that doesn't make you family. Betty, please, let's not fight in front of Jenny. Oh, now you care about what happens in front of her. Where was that concern for 23 years? Jenny stepped between us? Stop, both of you. I don't care about your history. I care about my business. Grandma, please, I'm begging you. Re-sign the loan. Give me another chance. I'll make the payments. I swear. I looked at her, really looked at her, and I saw desperation, fear, but not remorse, not understanding of what she'd done, just panic at losing something she wanted. No, I said quietly. No, you hurt me, Jenny, physically, emotionally, and instead of apologizing, you called me dramatic. Instead of taking responsibility, you blamed me. I will not put myself at financial risk for someone who treats me like that. But I'm your granddaughter, and you shoved your grandmother to the floor. Family goes both ways. Respect goes both ways. You stopped treating me like family first. Matt put his hand on Jenny's shoulder. Come on, let's go. We'll figure something else out. There is nothing else. Jenny screamed, the bank is seizing my equipment next week. I'm going to lose everything. Then you'll rebuild. Like I did when your grandfather left. Like I did when your mother abandoned you. You'll survive. I hate you, she whispered. I know, but I love you enough to let you hate me if it means you learn this lesson. They left, Matt's car following Jenny's down the street. I went inside and sat on my couch in the quiet house. My phone buzzed. A text from Noah. Are you okay? I will be. I typed back, and I meant it. Matt showed up at my door 2 days later, alone. Can we talk? He asked. I have nothing to say to you. Please, Betty. 5 minutes. Against my better judgment, I let him in. We sat at the kitchen table, the same table where we used to have breakfast when we were married. The same table where I'd fed Caitlin as a toddler. The same table where I'd helped Jenny with homework for years. You look good, Matt said. Don't. I'm serious. You look strong, happy. Well, except for the current situation. What do you want, Matt? He took a breath. I want to help Jenny, and I want to apologize to you. Your apology is 23 years late. I know, but I'm giving it anyway. He looked down at his hands. I was a coward. I was 29, broke, scared. I had a wife and a kid, and no idea how to be a father. So I ran, told myself everyone would be better off without me. Were we? Honestly, probably. You're an amazing mother. You raised Caitlin, then Jenny, and you did it alone. You didn't need me. Need and deserve are different things. I deserved a partner. Caitlin deserved a father. You're right, and I'm sorry. I can't change the past, but I can try to do better now. By what? Giving Jenny money? By being here. By not running this time. I laughed without humor. She shoved me to the floor, Matt. She called me a burden. She destroyed our relationship over a business loan. And you think showing up makes you the hero? No. I think showing up makes me someone who's finally trying. Even if it's too late. It is too late. For us anyway. What about for Jenny? I stood up. Jenny made her choices. She has to live with them. She's 26. She's scared. She made mistakes. She assaulted her grandmother. That's not a mistake. That's violence. Matt stood too. You're really not going to help her. I am helping her by letting her fail, by letting her understand that actions have consequences. That's the help she actually needs, even if she doesn't see it yet. That's cold, Betty. That's experience. I spent 30 years as a social worker watching families enable each other into destruction. I'm not doing that to Jenny. So you're just going to let her lose everything? I'm going to let her learn what I learned when you left. That you survive. You rebuild. You become stronger. He looked at me for a long moment. You really have changed. I had to. You made sure of that. After he left, I sat at the table, thinking about the woman I'd been when he walked out, 28 years old, alone with a 5-year-old, terrified, humiliated, convinced I'd failed somehow. But I hadn't failed. I'd survived. And I'd raised 2 generations of strong women, even if one of them didn't see it yet. Jenny's salon closed 3 weeks later. The bank seized her equipment, sold it at auction, applied the proceeds to her loan balance. She still owed. I heard about it through Noah, who heard about it from Matt, who was apparently still in touch with Jenny. She's devastated, Noah told me. I'm sure she is. Betty, don't you feel anything? Of course I feel something. I feel sad. I feel guilty. But I also feel sure I did the right thing. She's living with Matt now, in his apartment in Quincy. That surprised me. He's letting her stay with him, apparently. He says he's trying to be a father, even if it's late. I didn't know how to feel about that. Part of me was angry. Where was this paternal instinct 20 years ago? But part of me was relieved. At least Jenny had somewhere to go. Has she said anything about me? I asked. She says she's done with you, that you chose money over family. I chose my safety over enabling her. I know, but that's not how she sees it. Maybe she never will, and I have to be okay with that. Noah squeezed my hand. You did the right thing, sis. Even if it hurts, it does hurt more than I thought it would. A month passed, and 2, I went to work, came home, tended my garden. My hips still ache sometimes. A reminder of what happened. But mostly, I tried to move forward. Then on a Tuesday afternoon, there was a knock on my door. Matt and Jenny stood on my porch. Jenny looked different, thinner, tired, but her eyes weren't angry anymore. They were sad. Can we come in? Matt asked. I hesitated, then stepped aside. We sat in the living room. The silence was thick and uncomfortable. Finally, Jenny spoke. I've been in therapy since the salon closed. That's good. My therapist says I need to take accountability, not to get your forgiveness, but to be honest about what I did. I waited. I shoved you. I hurt you. And instead of apologizing, I blamed you for being in my way. Her voice shook. That was wrong. That was abusive. And I'm sorry. Okay. Just okay. What do you want me to say, Jenny? That everything's fine now? It's not. I know, but I'm trying to do better. She took a breath. The business failed because I was in over my head. I hired too many people, spent too much on stuff that didn't matter, didn't market enough. I made bad choices, and instead of asking for help, I blamed you for not bailing me out. Yes. And when you removed yourself from the loan, I felt betrayed, like you'd given up on me. I didn't give up on you. I protected myself. I know that now. But at the time, all I could see was that everything was falling apart, and the person I counted on wasn't there. I was always there until you physically pushed me away. Jenny started crying. I know, and I'm so sorry. I don't know how to fix this. You can't, not immediately. Trust takes time to rebuild. Matt spoke up. Jenny's been living with me, working 2 jobs, paying down the debt. She's doing the work. That's good. But that doesn't erase what happened. I'm not asking you to erase it, Jenny said. I'm asking if there's any chance eventually that we can have a relationship again. I looked at her. This girl I'd raised, this woman who'd hurt me. Maybe I said someday, but not now. I need time to heal, and you need time to prove that you've actually changed, not just that you're sorry. How do I prove that? By living differently, by making better choices, by showing respect and accountability over time, not just saying the word. She nodded. Okay, I can do that. Can you? Because it's going to be years, Jenny, not weeks, not months, years before I can fully trust you again. I understand. Do you? Because you're 26, you're going to get impatient, you're going to want forgiveness on your timeline, but healing happens on my timeline, not yours. I understand, she said again. And this time I almost believed her. After they left, I sat alone in my living room, feeling something I hadn't felt in months. Not happiness, not peace, but possibility. Maybe Jenny would do the work. Maybe she'd prove herself, or maybe she wouldn't. Either way, I'd survive. I'd survived worse. 6 months later, a letter arrived. Handwritten. Jenny's careful script on the envelope. I almost didn't open it. But curiosity won. Dear Grandma Betty, I'm writing because my therapist says it's important to communicate without expecting response. So I'm not asking you to write back. I'm just telling you where I am. I'm still living with Matt Grandpa, I guess, though it's weird to call him that. He's teaching me about construction. I'm working as his assistant on job sites. It's hard work. My hands are covered in calluses, but I like it. I paid off $8,000 of the loan. I have $14,000 left. At my current rate, I'll have it paid in about 2 years. The salon is gone. I don't think I'll open another one. Maybe someday when I'm older and smarter. But right now, I need to learn how to be a person who finishes what she starts. I think about what you said a lot, about how trust takes time, about how I have to prove change, not just talk about it. You were right. I hurt you. I put my hands on you. I called you a burden when you were the only person who ever truly took care of me. My therapist says I was angry at my mom for leaving, but I couldn't be angry at someone who wasn't there, so I took it out on you instead. That doesn't excuse what I did, but it helps me understand it. I don't know if you'll ever forgive me, but I'm going to keep doing the work anyway. I love you. Even if you never want to see me again, I love you. Jenny. I read the letter 3 times. Then I folded it and put it in my dresser drawer. I didn't respond. Not yet, but I kept the letter. 2 years later, Jenny paid off the loan. Matt called to tell me she made the final payment today. Wanted you to know. That's good. She's doing really well, Betty. Working full-time. Got promoted to project manager. Took some business courses at community college. She's different. Different how? Humble. Accountable. She doesn't blame other people anymore when things go wrong. That's growth. Will you see her? She asks about you sometimes. Never pushes. Just asks. I thought about it. 2 years. That's how long I'd asked for. Time for her to prove change. Tell her I'll meet her for coffee. Neutral location. 1 hour. We'll see how it goes. She'll be so happy. Don't promise her anything, Matt. This is just coffee. Not reconciliation. I understand. We met at a cafe in Cambridge on a Saturday morning. Jenny arrived early, sitting at a corner table, hands wrapped around a mug. She stood when she saw me, didn't hug me, just waited. Hi, Grandma Betty. Hi, Jenny. We sat. The silence was awkward, but not hostile. Thank you for meeting me, she said. Matt said you paid off the loan. Yeah, last month. Took longer than I thought, but I did it. I'm proud of you for following through. I almost didn't. There were times I wanted to just declare bankruptcy and walk away, but I kept thinking about what you said about finishing what you start. That must have been hard. It was. I ate ramen for 2 years. Didn't buy new clothes. Didn't go out with friends. But I did it. She looked at me. I did it because I wanted to prove to you that I could. You should have done it for yourself. I know. And I did, but also for you. Both can be true. We talked for an hour about her job, her life, Matt, and his attempts at being a grandfather. She asked about my work, my garden, my life. I'm retiring next year, I told her. 32 years is enough. What will you do? Travel? Maybe? Read? Garden? Enjoy not being responsible for other people's crises. That sounds nice. It does. When the hour was up, we stood. This time, Jenny asked, "Can I hug you?" I hesitated, then nodded. She hugged me carefully like I was fragile. When she pulled back, her eyes were wet. "I missed you," she whispered. "I missed you too. Can we do this again? Coffee in a few weeks." "Yes." "Okay. I'll wait to hear from you." She didn't push, didn't ask for more, just accepted what I could give. That was growth. 3 years after the assault, Jenny invited me to dinner. "I'm making lasagna," she said on the phone. "Your recipe." Well, trying to make your recipe. I know it won't be as good, but I wanted to try. Where? My apartment. I know that's asking a lot, but I'd like you to see my place. See how I'm living. I thought about it. Her apartment, her space, her terms. Okay? What time? 6? And Grandma, Matt will be there too. Is that okay? It's your dinner. Invite who you want. The apartment was small, but clean. 1 bedroom in Somerville. Modest furniture. No expensive decorations. Everything looked earned, not given. Jenny had set the table with mismatched plates. The lasagna was slightly burnt on the edges. I'm sorry. I think I left it in too long. It looks perfect. Matt arrived with wine. We sat at Jenny's small table, the 3 of us, and it felt surreal, like a family that shouldn't exist but somehow did. I want to say something, Jenny said. It's been 3 years since I hurt you. 3 years since I ruined our relationship. And I know I can't undo that. But I want to mark the time to acknowledge how far we've come. Okay, I was so angry that day. At you. At my mom for leaving. At myself for failing. I took all that anger and I aimed it at the person who'd never hurt me, and that was unforgivable. But you're asking me to forgive you anyway? No, I'm telling you I don't deserve forgiveness. But I'm grateful for every coffee date, every phone call, every chance you've given me to show I've changed. Matt spoke up. I want to say something too. Buddy, I know I don't have the right to be here. I left you. I abandoned Caitlin. I was the worst kind of coward. Yes, you were. But watching Jenny these past 3 years, seeing her do the work, it made me realize I never did that. I never took accountability. I just ran and told myself it was better for everyone. It wasn't better. I know. And I'm sorry. I can't fix the past. But I'm trying to be present now. To be the grandfather I should have been from the start. I looked at both of them, 2 people who'd hurt me, 2 people who'd failed me, 2 people who were trying. I forgive you, I said quietly. Jenny's eyes went wide. What? I forgive you? Both of you. Not because you deserve it. Not because the hurt is gone. But because I'm tired of carrying it. Jenny started crying. I don't know what to say. Say thank you. Then prove I made the right choice. Thank you. And I will, I promise. We ate Jenny's slightly burnt lasagna. We drank Matt's wine. We told stories about Caitlin, the good ones before she left. The ones we could remember without pain. And for the first time in 3 years, I felt something other than caution. I felt hope. It came 6 months later. Middle of the night. My phone ringing. That specific panic of 2 a.m. calls. Hello? Betty? It was Jenny. Her voice strange, shaking. What's wrong? It's my mom, Caitlin. She's here. I sat up in bed, fully awake now. What do you mean she's here? She showed up at my apartment an hour ago. Says she's been clean for 6 months. Says she wants to reconnect. Grandma, I don't know what to do. Where is she now? Sitting on my couch. We've been talking, but I need you. Can you come? I'm on my way. I drove to Somerville in my pajamas, mind racing. Caitlin, my daughter, the one who'd left 15 years ago and never looked back. Jenny's apartment door was unlocked. I walked in. Caitlin sat on the couch, thinner than I remembered. Older, gray streaking her dark hair, but unmistakably my daughter. Mom, she said. Caitlin. We stared at each other across the small living room. 15 years of silence between us. I'm sorry to just show up like this, she said. I didn't know how else to do it. You could have called. I was afraid you'd hang up. I probably would have. Jenny stood between us, uncertain. I'll make coffee. She disappeared into the kitchen, leaving Caitlin and me alone. You look good, Caitlin said. You look like you've been through hell. I have. Drugs, bad relationships, homelessness for a while. But I'm clean now. 6 months sober. Congratulations. Mom, don't be like that. Like what? Cold? Distant? You left your daughter with me and disappeared. What did you expect? I know, I was a terrible mother. A terrible daughter. I ran away from everything. Yes, you did. I'm trying to do better now. Where have I heard that before? I looked at her. Jenny said the same thing 3 years ago, and she spent those 3 years proving it. What are you going to prove? I don't know. Whatever it takes. Jenny came back with coffee. We sat in painful silence. Finally, Caitlin spoke. I came because I owe both of you apologies. Mom, I'm sorry for leaving you with my daughter, for disappearing, for being too much of a coward to face what I'd done. Okay. Jenny, I'm sorry for abandoning you. You were 8 years old. You needed your mother, and I ran because I couldn't handle being a parent. Jenny's voice was small. Why now? Why after 15 years? Because I'm finally strong enough. Because I spent 15 years running from my failures and I'm done running. That's not good enough, I said. You don't get to show up and expect forgiveness just because you finally feel ready. I'm not expecting forgiveness, I'm just trying to be honest. Honest? You want honest? You destroyed Jenny's childhood. You made her feel like she wasn't worth staying for. You left me to raise her alone while you did God knows what. I was using heavily. I couldn't take care of myself, let alone a child. And you should have gotten help, not abandoned your daughter. You're right, I should have, but I didn't. And I can't change that. Jenny was crying now. Why did you leave me? Caitlin turned to her, because I looked at you and saw everything I was failing at. You deserved better than me, better than the addict, mom who couldn't keep food in the house or remember to pick you up from school. So you gave me to Grandma Betty. Yes, the one person I knew would take care of you. The one person who'd never let you down. But I needed you, Jenny whispered. Not her, you. I know, baby. And I'm so sorry. We sat in that small apartment, 3 generations of women, all of us broken in different ways, all of us trying to find our way back. I can't do this right now, Jenny finally said. It's too much. I need time. I understand, Caitlin said. Can I call you? Stay in touch? I don't know, maybe eventually. Okay. I'll wait. She stood. Thank you for letting me say this. Both of you. She left. The door closed softly behind her. Jenny collapsed onto the couch. I don't know how to feel. That's normal. Are you okay? I don't know. Seeing her after all this time, it brought back a lot. Do you think she's really changed? I think she wants to. Whether she will or not, only time will tell. Like me. Yes. Like you. Jenny looked at me. Grandma, did I turn out like her? Am I just repeating her mistakes? No, you hurt me, but then you did the work. You took accountability. You changed. Yeah, that's not what your mother did. She ran. But I could have run too. But you didn't. That's what matters. We sat together as the sun came up. 2 survivors. 2 women who'd been hurt and hurt others. 2 people trying to be better. And somehow that was enough. I was in my garden when Jenny arrived. She had a little girl with her now, 3 years old, dark curls, Jenny's eyes. Grandma Betty. The little girl ran to me. Hi, sweetness. I picked her up, marveling at how much she'd grown since I'd seen her last month. We brought you flowers. Jenny held out a bouquet of sunflowers, my favorite. Thank you. They're beautiful. We went inside. I made lemonade while Jenny helped her daughter, my great-granddaughter, color at the kitchen table. How's work? I asked. Good, just landed a big contract. We're building a community center in Dorchester. Matt's company, I'm a partner now. 50-50 split. That's wonderful. It is. Who would have thought I'd end up in construction? She smiled. Life's funny. It is. Caitlin called last week. I hand-stilled on the lemonade pitcher. She's 3 years clean now, working at a treatment center in Worcester, helping other women get sober. That's good. She asked if she could meet Lily, her granddaughter. Jenny gestured to the little girl. I said yes. How do you feel about that? Scared. Hopeful. Both. She looked at me. You taught me that people can change. You showed me what accountability looks like. If you could forgive me after what I did, maybe I can forgive her. Maybe. But take your time. Don't rush it. I won't. And Grandma, thank you for not giving up on me, even when you should have. I never gave up on you. I just protected myself while you figured things out. That's the same thing. No, it's not. Giving up means walking away forever. I just created boundaries until you were safe to be around again. And now you're safe. Now I trust you. Now we're family again. Lily looked up from her coloring. Great-Grandma Betty, look, I drew you. I looked at the picture. A stick figure, with wild gray hair and a big smile holding a flower. "It's perfect," I said. And it was. I'd survived being thrown away by the person I raised. I'd survived the pain of setting boundaries. I'd survived my daughter's abandonment and her eventual return. And I'd survived by refusing to let anyone, no matter how much I loved them, destroy me. Jenny had learned that lesson the hard way, and now she was teaching it to Lily. That was legacy. Not the house I lived in or the money I saved, but the strength I'd passed down, the knowledge that you could love someone and still protect yourself. That forgiveness was earned, not given freely. That family wasn't about blood, it was about respect. I looked at Jenny and Lily coloring together at my kitchen table. The same table where Jenny had done homework as a child. The same table where she'd shoved me aside 5 years ago. We'd come full circle. But this time, the circle was built on truth instead of obligation, on respect instead of guilt. And that made all the difference. If you've ever had to choose between protecting yourself and enabling someone you love, drop a comment below. You're not alone. And remember, boundaries aren't cruel, they're survival.